Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share something important with you. This isn't just a speech, it's a truth that has stood the test of time. There are those among us who think they can betray and manipulate without facing any consequences. They shake your hand and smile, while secretly plotting behind your back. They act as if they're untouchable, immune to the repercussions of their actions. However, let me be clear, their betrayal does not go unnoticed. It will catch up with them, though not immediately. In ways they don't yet understand or see, their own treachery will be their downfall. Betrayal is like a boomerang. It eventually returns to the one who threw it, no matter how clever they think they are. People often have a misguided confidence in their ability to escape the consequences of their actions, believing they can pull off their deceit without anyone noticing. But every choice, every whisper of deceit, every calculated betrayal always comes back. This is because a balance exists in the world, governed by unseen forces. At first, the betrayer may feel invincible, moving through their deception without a care. But in a moment they least expect, everything changes. The very act they believed would elevate them will turn against them. They may think they have outsmarted judgment and fortune, maybe even feeling high on their supposed success. They wear masks of charm and pretend to be virtuous, convincing themselves they are beyond reach. But the truth has a way of breaking through that facade. It's patient and methodical, waiting for the right moment to act. When it strikes, it hits hard, even if the betrayer is oblivious to the brewing consequences. The moment someone chooses deceit over honesty, they cast a dark shadow over their own life. It doesn't matter if the fallout isn't immediate. The seeds of betrayal have already taken root and begun to decay from within. It penetrates their mind, heart, and soul, and there's no hiding from it, even in silence. They may laugh and pretend all they want, but the truth is relentless. In moments of solitude, when the world is still, the burden of one's choices becomes painfully clear. A person who has betrayed another knows that peace is elusive. The restlessness of a guilty conscience quietly lingers. It doesn't shout. Instead, it whispers during quiet pauses, in the flicker of doubt that shows behind one's eyes, and in the nervous glances cast over one's shoulder, where fear dwells that their wrongdoings might soon be revealed. And inevitably, they are revealed because one cannot escape the truth of their own actions. People often try to mask their reflections with distractions and noise, but eventually, in those silent moments, they confront themselves, which can be a terrifying realization. Many believe power lies in control and manipulation, in the ability to play situations to their advantage. However, true power resides in integrity. It's found in the courage to hold one's ground amidst chaos, in standing firmly by the truth, even when everything around tempts one to stray. Those who stay true to their principles amidst deceit find lasting strength. Empires built on lies are destined to crumble. Anyone who rises through deception, stepping on the backs of others, will ultimately discover they have no solid ground beneath them. When that collapse comes, no one will be there to support them. It's a curious irony that those who manipulate often feel they are succeeding, when in reality, they are hastening their own downfall. The more they rise through trickery, the harder they will fall. While some may avoid this reckoning for a time, intricately weaving webs of deceit to postpone the inevitable, no lie can withstand the test of time forever. Truth is patient, unwavering, and waits until the weight of falsehoods becomes too heavy to bear. What is built on deceit may dazzle for a while, appearing strong to those who don't look closely, but eventually the cracks will show. With a sudden and complete collapse, the structure they relied on will fall apart. And when that moment arrives, the betrayer will find themselves in ruins of their own making. The world won't need explanations or reasons. It will have seen the collapse unfold, having anticipated it all along. People often wonder how to combat this reality. When someone you trusted betrays you, it can be shocking. The best way to respond isn't to fight back in anger or retaliate. Instead, maintain your dignity and resist the urge to lower yourself to their level. By doing so, you won't become like them, and you'll preserve your strength. Standing tall and unwavering is a powerful response. Allow time to play its role. It will inevitably reveal the truth. Watch patiently as the betrayal takes its toll on those who committed it. A person who values their integrity never forsakes their principles for short-term gains. They emerge as the true victors because, when everything settles, those who lived with honor will be left standing strong, wiser, and unbreakable. Betrayal is just a single chapter in a much larger story. Those who think they've achieved success through deceit are in fact setting themselves up for failure. Ultimately, time is on the side of truth. It may not shout for attention or force itself into the spotlight, but it always patiently waits to unveil what's hidden. Many believe they can outsmart the truth, building their lives on deception and crafting lies that they think will shield them. They might trick some people temporarily, even convincing themselves, but the truth has a way of surfacing. Lies can't stay buried forever. It can take days, months, or even years. But when the time is right, the reality will come to light. Time is an incredible force that reveals everything. It removes the masks people wear and dismantles the facades they carefully create. Those who think they've covered their tracks might fool a few at first, but no lie remains hidden indefinitely. In the end, time makes clear who they really are. It's astonishing how much can change over time. What seems easily concealed can suddenly be impossible to keep secret, often revealed in subtle moments. A slip of the tongue, a hint of a change in behavior. A foundation thought to be strong begins to show cracks after a chance meeting with someone who knows too much. Doubt starts to creep in, and whispers grow louder. Suddenly, fear of the unknown takes hold, making them look over their shoulder constantly. Paranoia sets in, and they become suspicious of everyone around them. The feeling that everything might come crashing down feels worse than any outside punishment. This slow unraveling reveals a harsh truth. What they've done isn't something they can simply erase. Attempts to regain control only highlight their lies. When the truth starts to surface, it becomes impossible to keep hidden for long. Betrayal, despite its heavy impact, doesn't have lasting power. Yes, it can hurt deeply and leave scars, but what truly lasts is the truth. Integrity and resilience hold true over time, and eventually, all hidden actions will be laid bare. Those who deceive might think they can push forward free from guilt, but the human mind has a way of holding on to the pain of one's actions. In moments of stillness, when no distractions are present, the realization of the harm caused settles in. It's not always an immediate reckoning or a dramatic downfall. Often, it's a slow, persistent pressure. Guilt doesn't yield to reasoning or excuses. It remains a constant reminder of past deeds. It manifests in restlessness and an inability to simply sit in silence. Frustration and anger bubble up, often leading them to lash out or deflect blame onto others. However, no matter how they try to shout over their discomfort, the inner truth keeps whispering. People often believe that betrayal focuses on the pain of the person wronged, and while that's part of it, the heavier burden falls on the betrayer. They carry the weight of their actions, and that burden is not easily lifted. People who betray others carry a heavy weight. They are acutely aware of their own actions, living daily with the memories of what they've done. They try to distract themselves, filling their lives with noise and new routines, thinking that changing their surroundings and meeting different people will help. However, no matter where they go, their guilt will always find them. This guilt isn't something that can be ignored or overlooked. It resides within them. They can pretend everything is fine, but they can't escape from the truth that lives in their hearts. For those who have betrayed, the notion of peace is elusive. Their triumphs feel unusually hollow. Even when they achieve success, it lacks true joy because the reality of their actions lingers just beneath the surface. The truth has its way of surfacing, no matter how deeply it is buried. As time passes, they begin to unravel, not because someone has exposed them, but because their own minds refuse to grant them peace. Strength doesn't lie in seeking revenge or trying to retaliate. It's not found in bitterness or the anger that fuels a desire to make others suffer for one's wrongdoings. Real strength is more subtle and profound. It involves standing firm and moving through life with grace, allowing time to heal what needs to be healed. Those who betray expect to see anger and pain in their victims. They anticipate witnessing the destruction they've caused. But when they don't see the fallout, when they realize that their actions have not shattered those around them, but have instead strengthened them, they are hit with an unsettling realization. Their power was never real. People who thrive on manipulation rely on the belief that they can control how others feel and react. When they discover that someone is unshaken, that the damage they attempted to inflict has not taken hold, they are left to confront an unfamiliar sensation. It's not a sense of victory or fulfillment, it's fear. They begin to question themselves. If the person they betrayed hasn't crumbled under the weight of their actions, what does that reveal about their own worth? Those who choose to live rather than seek revenge are the true winners. They understand a powerful truth that those who betray never will. Peace is unmatched. Waking up without bitterness and going through life free from resentment, that's real strength. It allows for genuine smiles and the ability to love without fear. The world has a natural way of balancing itself. No act of betrayal or deceit can overpower the undeniable truth that what you put into the world always circles back to you. Some people think they can escape the fallout of their actions, that they can control how things turn out. They believe they can rewrite reality to suit their needs. But deception is only temporary. It can twist things for a short time, but eventually crumbles under pressure. Those who build their lives on lies are constructing on shifting ground. They lack a solid foundation, relying on the illusion of control, which inevitably shatters when the truth comes to light. As they sink deeper into their deceit, desperation sets in. It starts quietly, with subtle paranoia and an ever-growing need to watch their own backs. They become uneasy, restless, unsure of themselves. Soon, second-guessing becomes a pattern as they question if those they once manipulated see through their facade. Their lies grow more elaborate, their schemes more complicated, yet one day they realize they are no longer in charge. They are simply struggling to keep pace with the chaos they've created. And then comes the shift, the moment everything changes. It may not be a dramatic revelation. Sometimes it's just a simple glance, a flicker of lost trust in the eyes of those they deceived. They notice the growing distance, the hesitation in interactions, and that's when they understand the world no longer sees them how it used to. The unraveling starts not with one specific moment, but with the painful realization of loneliness. Many find out that their perceived power was just an illusion, a false sense of control that has left them feeling isolated and insignificant. Betrayers often think they hold the reins, believing they are playing a game they have mastered. Yet, they are deeply mistaken. Every lie, every act of manipulation, and every deceitful action doesn't harm others as much as it harms them. They might be fooling others, but ultimately, they are carving away at their own souls. The truth has a way of revealing itself. They will come to see what they've become without anyone needing to force it on them. For those who have suffered from betrayal, there is always a choice: to cling to the past, soaked in pain and a desire for revenge, or to move forward, free from the chaos that the betrayer tried to create. In this process, the betrayers are already paying dearly, often in ways that remain hidden from the world. One day, they will wake up to a life constructed from illusion, realizing that those they deceived have moved on, while the power they once cherished crumbled to dust. Tragically, they will learn too late that their betrayal was, in fact, their own undoing. When faced with such betrayal, the question arises: how should one respond? Should you stoop to their level and retaliate? Absolutely not. Instead, rise above it. Thrive. Show them that their betrayal didn't break you. It made you stronger. People who betray are often weak themselves, acting out of fear and desperation, trying to control what they cannot manage within themselves. Weakness leads to self-destruction. You have a different path ahead. Walk forward with integrity and strength. As you do this, notice how they begin to crumble behind you. Do not squander your energy on those who have wronged you. Let go of their deceit and treachery. Stand tall and witness as the world unfolds in its usual manner, allowing them to bring about their own downfall. Their betrayal will inevitably lead to their destruction. Just wait and watch it all unfold for yourself.